In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. In my last recording, actually, we talked about speech acts as developed by Austin, 1962, which we said that is important, that is used in many theses related to language teaching. Okay, now page 16 continues like this. Okay, first of all, we want to classify, but before that, there is something that I want to share with you. The 3 lines before, in fact, 6 lines to the bottom of page 16, the book says, "I'll be back." 6 lines to the bottom. I'll be back. If you actually perform this, in fact, speech act, like I'll be back, it can mean 2 things at the same time, or maybe more than 2 things. On one part, it could mean something like, I promise that I'll be back. When you say I'll be back, you mean that I promise that I'll be back. Or it could mean that I warn you that I'll be back. Okay? So there are examples of ambiguities over here. Okay? Like these ones that we have. Okay? These 2 types of meanings coming from one, in fact, sentence. So, for example, in your WhatsApp, you send a kind of message to a friend of yours. The friend actually understands the other way around. You want to inform him, and he understands it as a kind of warning. Why? Because, as Austin says, as Austin developed, there might be something like the speech act behind every sentence, and sometimes there are more than one speech act behind an utterance, like this example. Now let us go to classify these types of, in fact, speech acts in 2 different categories. Well, the categories are like this. 3 lines to the bottom of page 16. Declarations, page 16. Page 17 on the top, we have representatives. Somewhere in the middle, we have commissives and directives. And below that page, we have expressives. Okay? These are the different types of, let's see, in fact, speech acts that we want to continue. Well, back to page 16, 3 lines to the bottom. We have something like, yes, declaratives. Well, the book says, these are words and expressions that change the world by their very utterance. If you reorder the world around you by what you say, is this. They say it's a kind of declaration, such as, I bet. When you bet, actually you change the world. Or I declare. Okay, you declare. Okay, or I resign from my office, from my work. You have changed the world. Okay. Page 17 says, anytime there is a word like hereby, line 1. Hereby. I don't know the Arabic word for it. But in Farsi we call it, for those who actually know Farsi as well, it is bedin vasile. Okay? For Afghan students, if there are, I suppose there is at least one Afghan student in your class. Hereby means bedin vasile, which is actually used in office paperwork. Well, when you write something in an office, you use this word, okay, as بدین وسیله. Well, page 17 says, I hereby pronounce you man and wife. This is the word taken by, in fact, a kind of clergyman or in an office. Okay, in an office. What does it mean? When they say something like this, I hereby pronounce you man and wife. It is something, you remember. أنكحت موكلتي أنكحت موكلتي أو موكلي على صداق معلوم. Okay, and the other part says قبلت التزويج على موكلي أو موكلتي على الصداق المعلوم. Well, when they actually do something like this, they change the word order. They change the world. Now these two guys, one guy and one girl, establish a family. They are now a couple. They are men and wives, men and wife, or men and wives. Okay? Only and only by saying something. Okay? So, when you say, I bet, you have to do it. You have to change the word. When you say, I declare, I just resign. Or your, in fact, boss says you're fired from the office. These are declaratives. Type 2. Or there's another example before I go to the next type. Look at this. Line 2. This court sentences you to 10 years of imprisonment. Sentences you. You're, in fact, sent to as prison for 10 years. Only by uttering this sentence by the court. What does it mean? It means that there is a speech act behind this speech. There's an act behind this speech. The next one, type 2, representatives. There are acts in which the words state what the speaker believes to be the case. Your beliefs, such as describing something, claiming something to be yours. Okay? Claiming something to be yours. For example, you have got somebody has got a piece of land, you say, it's mine. You claim, there's a claim against that piece of land. Or hypothesizing, or insisting, or predicting. Okay? These are examples of this macro class. If you want to underline the word macro class, go to line 4 of the previous page, page 16. Okay? The last word says macro class. We are talking about these macro classes. One is declarations. Now we want to talk about, talking about representatives. Okay? There are examples down there. 1, 2, 3 good examples are down there. Okay? So when Julius Caesar, okay, says, I came, I saw, I conquered. There's there's a speech act of, in fact, representatives. Okay? Or 1 line, 2 lines below, okay? We read something like this. The fact that girls have been outstripping boys academically have been acknowledged for the past 20 years or so. Okay? Girls are, in fact, outstripping boys academically. it means that they do better than boys. Okay? Maybe in your class this is the case. We want to see if they are going to outstrip boys. Okay? This paragraph actually is this little paragraph, of course, is an example of representative speech act of, in fact, the speech act of representatives, or the one below. Okay, let's see. Macbeth shall never vanquish me until. This is Shakespeare. Macbeth shall never vanquish me until great Burnham wood to high Ducinant hell shall come against him. What does it mean? Macbeth shall never die. Until when? Until when? There's the name of a wood. And there's the name of a hell. The wood is here, and the wood is here, and the hell is out there. They have to, in fact, come against him in front of him. This will never happen. So Macbeth will never die. Okay? So this is, in fact, maybe you call it a kind of, let's say, insisting or describing. Okay? Maybe it's insisting is much better. Okay? And there's no shall come against him. It means that these two wood and the hill are going to attack him. Okay? Now, of course, some examples are nicer, others are nicest. But there are others that are, in fact, maybe difficult for you to understand. But generally, this is the case that you understand many of these examples as, let's say, declaratives and representatives. Declarations and representatives. Let us go to type 3, commissives. Well, this includes acts in which the words commit the speakers to the future action. You are committed to do this for your homework. You are committed to finish this project. You are committed to go and buy this thing for me. Maybe. Anyway, these are commissives. Okay? Well, verbs of commissives include promising, offering, threatening, refusing, vowing, and volunteering to do something. Okay, and there are examples here. Okay. Well, there's one example. Ready when you are. I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. Okay, when you say I'll make him an offer, actually there you actually performing the commissive, in fact, speech act of commissing. Okay, explicitly. The next one is like this. I love you, dear. I love you, dear. I love you till China and Africa meet. Well, China is one country, and Africa is another. China is a country, a very big country. And Africa is the name of a continent. They are located in different places. Okay? Now, let us see. Till China and Africa meet, and the river jumps over the mountain. Well, the river never jumps over the mountain. And the salmon sing in the street. Salmon is the name of a kind of, let's say, fish. It's a kind of fish available in Iran. Of course, it's a different kind of, in fact, fish which is available in Iraq. Okay? Iraq is actually don't have this type of fish as salmon or trout. Okay? In Iran, actually, there's a special kind. If you go to, in fact, Iranian restaurants, you can order this kind of salmon. Okay? Well, and the salmon sing in the street. Well, in the street, we can't have a kind of fish. But it's a kind of promise to love a husband, a wife, forever. When you say, I love you, I love you, dear, till China and Africa meet, till the end of the world, and the river jumps over the mountain. Okay? And the salmon sing in the street. Okay? This is an example of, in fact, promising, an act of promising, as the Austin says. The speech act of promising. Okay? Now, directives. Type 1, 2, 3, 4. Type 4. Directives. Directives is when you are, in fact, give directions, and the verbs similar to these area of directive verbs. Okay, let's see. This category, this class, covers acts in which the words are aimed at making the hearer do something. You make the hearer, okay? You force the hearer to do something for you, or you make the hearer do something, okay? You force in fact, the hearer to do with the to, or without to. Make the hearer do without to. Do something for you, okay? Such as commanding an officer, a general in the army. Requesting, you request something, you order something. You ask somebody to do something for you. Inviting to your home to do something. Forbidding, suggesting, and so on. These are directives. Okay, and there are 3 examples down there, and the 3 examples are nice. The first example. From the ghoulies and the long leggy beasties and things that go bump in the night, good Lord, deliver us. Okay? Set us free. Okay? Set us free. You talk to God and ask God, okay? And ask God to, in fact, deliver you. Okay? Musa delivered. Well, his followers from Pharaoh. Okay? And, in fact, help them with the God, not with Pharaoh. Okay? So, this is deliver. Okay? So, this is the first example. Of course, it is not about Moses. It is quite different, but it's a Scottish prayer. But I want to explain the word of deliver, which is used in another meaning, in fact, religious context like this. Now let us go to the next one. Better remain silent and be thought a fool than open your mouth and remove all possible doubts. If you keep silent, it is better. You order somebody not to say something. If you say, you don't say anything, it is much better. Okay? It is much better. If you open your mouth and say something, you just lose your value. So, keep it in your mouth and never ever say anything. It's a kind of directive, ordering somebody to do something for you, for his sake, of course. Or Bernard Shaw says, do not do unto others as you would they should do upon you. Okay? Their tastes may not be the same. Okay? So I actually read it badly. I'm going to repeat it once more. Do not do unto others as you would they should do unto you. So don't do something upon others because you don't expect others to do something upon you. Don't harm others because you don't want to be harmed. Don't bother others because you don't want to be bothered. Okay? Do and don't are examples of, in fact, directives. Okay? And the next one. Expressives. The last one, but not the least. This last group includes acts in which the words state what the speaker feels, such as apologizing, feeling sorry, praising, okay, feeling that somebody is okay and good in doing something, congratulating, feeling that you share with your friend when he actually receives a university degree, for example. Deploring and regretting are examples of these types of things. Expressives. And there are 3 examples. These 3 examples are easy for you to understand and it's going to be long, so it's easy for you to understand. The first one is a woman without a man is like a fish without a bicycle. Okay? It's a feminist slogan. A feminist slogan is like this. So a woman without a man is like a fish without a bicycle. Of course, we are not feminists. Okay? Number 2. I've been poor and I've been rich. Rich is better. Expressing your idea. Well, which one is better? Rich or poor? Poor is better or rich? Rich is better. Okay? Well, or example 3. If I'd known I was gonna live this long, I'd have taken better care of myself. You express your ideas. I don't know. I smoked. I actually harmed myself by doing lots of things. It could be without them. It could be that without them. So we could actually be safer and live longer if we wanted like this. Anyway, so this is the end of page 17, and we are finishing these kinds of classifications of declarations, representatives, commissives, directives, and expressives. Thank you very much.